Welcome to the Full Octane Lodge. Wanted to give you a little bit of an update about what's happening with the chassis. We managed to go ahead and get this loaded on a friend's body cart. It was a purpose-built body cart that you could actually pull with your vehicle to relocate it to a new location. So we lifted it up with this crane. We mounted it on this body cart. Actually, it's a rotisserie. And we hauled it over to my buddy Kyle's house where we proceeded to paint it. We put 2 coats of white epoxy self-etching primer on the chassis and the cross member and a couple other bits. And then we waited about just under 24 hours, which was the cure time before we actually had to sand. And we went ahead and applied 3 coats of Macy Ferguson Red, which is a majestic paint from Tractor Supply. It's an enamel-based paint. We did use the catalyst hardener so that it would be a nice sheeny, hard surface on the chassis. Everything turned out fantastic. We have started doing some assembly of it. We went ahead and did bolt in the cross member, got the steering rack mocked up in there. Nothing's tightened down other than the center cross member today. So the next steps are we're going to go ahead and finish out building the suspension and hopefully make this thing a roller maybe by the end of this weekend. So this is just a quick update video on what it took to get to the chassis paint. As you see in some of these pictures, the progress where it was basically sanded down bare metal chassis. Then we did a little bit of welding, touch up, added a battery tray, added a couple of bump stops in the rear, which this did not have. We think that the bump stops are really important. My friend has this same chassis and his vehicle is sitting quite low, and the vehicle does, the suspension does hit the chassis and ding the chassis. We wanted to alleviate any chance of that happening. So we did add a battery box in the standard location, which did not come with the chassis. I'm trying to think what else we did. I know we did something else on the chassis, but everything else has turned out extremely well. I noticed that the bolt holes for the rear batwing were drilled in a metric size, though the bushings that I replaced it with were a standard size. So I went ahead and drilled those out a little bit so that the bigger bolts would fit in. We got all new grade 8 hardware to hold everything in place. And we'll show you what this thing looks like here in a couple of days. Thanks for being with us at the Full Octane Lodge. Oh wait, I almost forgot. Our legal team made me promise to display this disclaimer before we ended the video. Please take a moment to read it before you make any buying decisions.